Paris for Worlds?
Yeah, that's
in Hawaii?
That's definitely not the way you want to go out. But sometimes you lose to the milk.
Sometimes, Kyle. Sometimes.
So
Maybe he's lactose intolerant. Yeah.
Got him. I knew you were going there.
You know me too well.
Didn't get a great look at those prize cards, but looks like we're going to go ahead and get underway here with the fist bump.
Now it does look like Matthew Wood is going to start off with an Arceus V in the active spot. Energy in hand. That's exactly what you want to do if you're an Arceus V-Star deck. Everything else is just cherry on top.
Absolutely. The only thing that you need to accomplish on this turn is Arceus and Energy. When we see the Nest Ball along with that, you can certainly consider which Pokemon you want to focus on in this matchup. Sometimes you want to just think about the damage output. The Duraludon VMAX can be solid, but Umbreon occasionally you can bring up the right Pokemon and really start to cause some issues.
And to be fair, you see a Klefki on the other side of the board. There's a couple options you can actually think. We saw in Portland there was a Gardevoir list where it was playing 3 or 4 Klefki and really just trying to stop the momentum that Lost Box might build up.
That is a great point. Yes, this is a not open deck list. He does not know what he's playing against right now. When you see Klefki, sometimes you do think, well, let's get some Dark Pokemon down and avoid any Mewtwo v Union or Gardevoir shenanigans.
Going to eye down that Duraludon V, though. And looking pretty good. You got that Ultra Ball in hand for next turn for that Arceus V-Star. And that's all you really need. Passing the turn back to Kevin here. Did draw that Nest Ball. That's going to equal the Miraidon.
I got so worried. I thought it was going to be Jose all over again, as we did not see the Miraidon, but there it is. And yeah, that is a pretty solid Pokemon to have.
Miraidon EX is going to be the choice here, and it has quite a few friends. Tandem unit can't actually be used, though, because of the Klefki, right?
Right. So you have to see that energy played for the retreat to help out in the situation. It is a bit awkward to start this Pokemon, unless you're playing against Lost Zone. You're like, all right, cool, that's fine. I don't really care what my setup is, as long as you can't get cards in the Lost Zone. But that is not the case here. In this circumstance, you're probably looking at a turn 2 Arceus V-Star going to work.
And one thing we've seen with this deck list in particular is the combination of Radiant Alakazam, Hawlucha to build up extra damage to take knockouts out of space where you don't really think an Arceus deck could take a knockout.
Oh boy, if we see multiple energies here, that could be dangerous.
How about 0?
Yeah, yep, that's tough.
See, I knew you were going to say that. It goes both ways, Kyle.
It does. It absolutely does. It's gotten dangerous casting with each other for so many years. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Let's take a peek at the list. See, there's 14 lightning energies. We saw 0 of them.
It's a good grip. 1 in hand. Beach Court is going to allow Kevin to retreat the active, but we're going to start things off with a professor's research here.
Yeah, love seeing this. Don't need to commit to the retreating just yet. If you find the other electric generator that we find right there, you could always still find 2 energies.
And no energy in hand.
And maybe that means that there's 13 floating near the top.
12. There's 1 prize.
All right. Well, you know what? I can still leave, buddy. This is one thing I obviously you have to look at the deck and get all the information. When you look at the top 5 right there, you're just like, no. And I think it was just 1 in the top 5. So now you get a nice good shuffle, increase your odds by -1 Pokemon, and maybe it happens. Maybe we see the Miraidon not only get into the active and use tandem unit, but certainly could take a knockout here.
No energy
last
yet.
2? Oh, so close.
That is not going to be able to do it for Kevin to get the knockout on this turn. Having already attached for the turn, already played that 1 electric generator for nothing.
Brutal. Yep, there is a Forest Sealstone in this deck. Do not see that just yet, so it's not going to be another electric generator. Just had plenty of opportunity there and was unable to get the right pieces. You don't even need tandem unit. Look at that.
Just unfortunately drew all of them instead.
Yeah.
Arceus V-Star already in hand for Matthew here. And it is off to the races.
Yep, at this point, start to consider Do you need to work in any additional damage on Pokemon on the bench? Do you focus on that, or do you try to disrupt the hand? Your opponent really didn't do much. Obviously, it ended with just pass of the turn with Klefki.
Now we see the Hawlucha bench escape rope. Now, Hawlucha wasn't able to use its ability thanks to that Klefki. But Klefki's now on the bench, so you can use other Pokemon, basic Pokemon abilities that you'd like. Looking through the list, there's Luminion.
Yep. It's also Starbirth.
No. You could have used that already.
Oh, I'm just talking about where we're at in the turn right now. I don't think I want to dedicate a Luminion to the board right here. I'm chilling.
And there is that Starbirth from Matthew. It's going to search deck for 2 cards.
Double Turbo Research, double Turbo Judge. Either one is solid here.
You already have the free retreat thanks to that Beach Court in play. Hawlucha being a nice little pivot Pokemon here.
Yeah, that was smart thinking from Matt. Just understands you don't really care about the additional damage in this matchup per se. You don't have to cash in on that. Instead, just having that pivot option here is going to be nice to switch into this Arceus V-Star. Maybe get some nice damage onto the Raikou, but I'm not sure if there's a way to actually knock this Pokemon out here. Okay.
there is.
It's in the window. There's the choice belt ready to go. You'll love to see that there. Looks like it's a 2 of in the list. So very nice to find that card there.
Umbreon V on the bench, trying to set up for a potential VMAX the following turn if wanted.
Oh, we found both of them. Okay. Ooh. All right, Matt, I see you.
Not so little anymore.
That's right.
And with the choice belt, Matthew has the knockout, so it's just thinking through the rest of the turn here. There is that retreat, and Trinity Nova not only gets the knockout, but is also going to remove the Raikou from play and charge up that Duraludon VMAX on the bench.
Pretty solid turn here. Get that knockout. Get that Pokemon into the Lost Zone, which doesn't matter too much. The only one worry that you have at this point is you could potentially run into an issue where Miraidon could take a knockout with the assistance of double Regieleki VMAX. But we saw Matt did go for the research instead of the judge this turn, so really just thinks the cards are not in hand for Kevin. See if he's able to prove him wrong.
Draw for the turn energy off the top. That's what's needed to charge up this Miraidon EX in the active spot.
Would have been nice off the generator.
Yeah, beggars can't be choosers, something like that.
Oh, it's the shiny one. You know that's the one that's going to be the 5th off of the electric generator when he needs it most.
So it looks like Arven and Serena in hand. Now Arven can grab something like an Ultra Ball and 4 Seal Stone, and that gets both of those Regieleki VMAX, but you lose your entire hand.
Yeah. It looks like the answer is going to be Serena. Discard, draw 5, and hopefully find the right pieces. That's the wrong Aleki.
These are all wrong.
Oh, boy.
Ultra Ball. Needed 2 Regieleki VMAX, found 1. And honestly, this game's looking rough for Kevin here.
Yeah, seems to be the trend as we see once more. Just going to be short. Last turn, it was the energy. This turn, it's going to be the 30 additional damage from the Regieleki VMAX. Really start to worry at this stage. You can attack in with the Photon Blaster, but chip damage doesn't get the job done here. You need big one-hit knockouts.
And now it's back to Matthew here. Duraludon VMAX fully powered up. Miraidon has 220 HP. I think Duraludon VMAX does 220.
Good card.
Good card.
Yep, we do like to see that. It's going to be pretty solid.
And even has access to that Umbreon VMAX here with the Ultra Ball. Can go ahead and use that ability to guss up something in the future, but I think taking care of this Miraidon EX is step number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Remove the threats that you see as they appear. This isn't a deck that gets these energies by any other way rather than that generator. It's not going to be Flaffy coming in helping out, but going to target down the V as simpler target and gets to preserve this Pokemon if he wants, but no, going to get aggressive with it now.
All right, there is that switch. Duraludon VMAX takes the knockout on the Regieleki V. Matthew goes down to 2 prize cards left.
Yep, the nod to this play is if your opponent has all 3 evolutions, then you lose the ability to take a knockout on one of these V or EX Pokemon. So keep that EX in play, and you can surely find a knockout for it later on.
All right, we found 2 energy at the exact time we needed it, right?
I don't know. I'm a little concerned here, as the reach for a KO is non-existent, at least on this active Pokemon.
Ultra Ball, couple professors' research in hand, I believe. Ultra Ball here can find the first Regieleki VMAX.
Little Max Thunder and Lightning.
Does what, 220?
Yep. Not bad.
Not bad. Not great.
Your opponent has 2 prize cards, though, so you start to wonder which Pokemon you can attack with throughout the duration of this. And that's definitely one of them that can take a hit.
Out of all Pokemon, it is one of them.
It is a Pokemon. I've learned out of the 1,008 that we've discovered.
Yeah.
And the 27 that I know.
Well, there is that retreat thanks to the beach court. And some damage coming on that Duraludon VMAX. Just a boss's orders will seal it up for Matthew this game 1, though. And has the limiting on in hand.
Matt looks up. Is this that chess documentary from Netflix? Oh, yeah, the boss orders is there. He's going to find the win, and that's going to be an easy cleanup there in game number 1.
All right, so a little bit more of a setup, but Kevin really just hurt his own setup with that Klefki in the active spot.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it didn't matter too much. Maybe there was an opportunity to, I guess if you could have tandem unit, you could have got some cards out and helped Finn to maybe help out the Elect Generator. Wasn't a possibility, obviously, with the Klefki. And you would expect off the 2 generator and the attachment to have the knockout there in that situation. I absolutely think that that's something with 14 energies that should be within the realm of possibility, and just not happening there, and then also missing on the double Regieleki VMAX was pretty brutal.
Listen, Kyle, you got to expect the unexpected. And the unexpected is pretty terrible.
Yeah, it's, well, that's why you get an additional game to test your luck here. Only down about 12.5 minutes, so not too bad, as Kevin's going to have an opportunity here to go first in this matchup, and then you can see a lot of things coming his way, as these Pokemon with potentially that 220, 210 hit points, you can line up easy knockouts early on.
Like you were saying, going first is going to be the best way to combat an Arceus V-Star deck just in general. It's going to take them an extra turn to get that Starbirth and really get set up. Granted, Arceus decks going second, they still got Trinity Charge, and that's still a pretty good attack.
That is a solid point, as I just don't really think about that because I never get it, but some good players do. 3 energies for Kevin. That could be rough. Matthew, one of his choice belts down at the bottom. Could find it at the right time, and looks like we are set up for a pretty solid game number 2 here in round 8.
All right, Kevin's going to start things off for us this game 2. Has that Regieleki V in the active spot and an Ultra Ball. Discards a Lightning Energy and a Klefki. Now you can ride on EX and find the rest of your friends.
This hand stinks.
Where's the Rotom V? I'm looking at it.
There's, yeah. I think you want to move into the Raikou and start using fleet-footed at this point. It is that bad. You need to get some additional resources in hand. You need something going on here. As surely we will see the bench filled up here with the use of that multiple tandem units, and you got to find good cards now.
It's gonna be hard, but I believe these players can figure it out.
Yeah, also just finding a bunch of energies along with this too. Even if you do get bailed out and find Arvin or Generator or whatever, it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, this hand's looking like energy, beach court. Oh no.
Yeah, this is surprising. Just holds on to the resources now. Just, I mean, were you gonna see a boss's orders on something? Matt doesn't need that many Pokemon in play.
No. Yeah, you kind of unintentionally play around Lightning Rondo with a deck like Arceus, plus anything.
Well, we'll see what the read is for Matthew after seeing a suboptimal start from Kevin. Honestly, there could certainly be a supporter in Kevin's hand from the way that Matt reads this. There's a nice big setup, energy down, and didn't have to do anything like throw the energy on Miraidon and start to think about, oh, just setting up for the Generator. Instead, goes for the Raikou. So
Now,
could just play this consistently, get the 2 Arceus and get rolling.
Did you see an energy in Matthew's hand?
Not sure, but that is very important, especially double turbo. There is a metal.
All right, it's okay. It's not as good as it could be, but
Yeah, looks like the switch
Step
is in
one.
there as well, but this
hand's
not,
also very bad.
Yeah, this is really bad too. Uh-oh. Umbreon, Switch, Lost City. Oh yeah.
Just how you draw it up.
That's a hand. Well, there's a solid amount of Pokemon on board. Halucha, the sacrifice.
I think we are going to boss's order something, Kyle.
There's no knockouts lined up, but there's
Regieleki
the one
VMAX?
Regieleki VMAX that helps you get to 210, which is a little short of everything.
I think you just still have to do it. Maybe you can fleet-footed into another Regieleki VMAX.
Oh, wouldn't that be something? Jeremy, the call out. Do it, Kevin.
Yeah, because there's 8 plus 20. That's
Yeah, we're at 210 right now, I believe. So this is just the one off of the fleet-footed one time. Oh, no way. Was that really? That's Regieleki VMAX. Let's go. Finds the perfect card to knock out the Arceus V with the energy.
20, 40, 60, 80.
Yeah, just going to guarantee that he's got it. But that is something else. Wow.
I think with the math, it still knocks it out without it, but it's pretty nice to see. Like, I mean, there's 8 bench plus the 20 from the Lightning Rondo, so that's okay. Yeah, all right.
Wow, that's it?
Insane.
Oh, unreal there.
All right, that's how you got to do it.
Yep, Kevin says, you know what? I don't need to draw well at game 1. I'm ready to do that in game number 2. We got 32 minutes left.
Yeah, I don't even know if that was drawn well. Attach energy pass.
That's a good point. He didn't do anything. He didn't even use an electric generator or anything. Just
He got the tandem unit. That's drawing well.
one fleet-footed was enough to get the job done there. Cranberry with an opportunity to move on to 6-1-1 here. LDF trying to do the same thing on the other side, and we have plenty of time for a solid game number 3. With real hands, hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, there's at least 4 of them right now.
Come on, man. You're not even going to count the judge? Come on. Well, yeah, this is going to be interesting. See, Matthew, just trying to regain some composure there. That is a tough situation when you stare at a really bad hand after you played a pretty solid game 1, and just gotta stay strong and hope to see Arceus along with an energy on this opening turn.
Well,
Can't ask for much more.
That's why a few people actually gravitated toward this Miraidon deck, is the advantage you have against a lot of other Arceus decks in the format.
That's a great point. Yeah, we've seen players just understand the math lines up very well. Turn 1 Miraidon can happen a lot more than you think, and especially after the initial turn, when you do see that Arceus V star on the secondary turn, you can get that knockout fairly easily with the help of Regieleki VMAX.
All right, prizes didn't seem too bad for Kevin. A couple lightning energy there, 3 lightning in hand. Yeah, hand looks still very bad.
Oh no.
we got a mulligan. So at least there's one extra card, the fleet-footed from the Raikou V in the active. but
Okay, so you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance.
We like chances.
Listen, 60% of the time, it works every time. Matthew could also just, not find basic Pokemon.
Don't do that to him. Why would you do that, Jeremy?
I want a game.
Well, you're going to get one in, what, 17 more minutes?
Yeah.
If we get the first ever Judge Ball on stream, that'd be something.
There's a lot of firsts for the stream, Kyle, but I don't know if that's one that I want.
What? Come on. I've never actually had a Judge Ball.
Yeah?
I've never played a deck that needed one, and I've never had an opponent get that oddly unlucky against me.
So to explain it for y'all that don't know what a Judge Ball is, basically if you just mulligan a bunch of times and don't have a basic Pokemon, eventually the judge is just going to start flipping over cards from the top of your deck until you get one, and then you get in hand.
And then you get 6 additional cards with it, yes. They make a hand for you so that you can hurry up and play the game.
All right, prizes are out. Game 3 underway here. Is this our first game 3 of day 1?
It honestly might be, at least for us.
Yeah.
And that's saying something. We've had a lot of back and forth within the games, but always a decisive winner.
Taking a look at that hand, the 3 double turbo energy.
Yep.
We got energy.
Not the ideal starter there in that Duraludon V, but it looked like Ultra Ball was in the hand along with the double turbo. Have that Nest Ball for the Arceus V, so definitely could line up that turn 2 Starbirth. Start to get very aggressive in this matchup, but you always worry when it's just one Arceus V.
So Kevin's 2 cards off the mulligans. Miraidon EX, Electric Generator.
Ooh. All right. Yep. We live for those moments.
All right. Matthew did find the Arceus V off this Nest Ball. Has the energy, obviously. Now has the opportunity to escape rope, but of course you just want to save that. You do not want your Arceus V to get knocked out by a pretty stellar turn from Kevin here.
Yeah, that's basically the card you're trying to avoid from your opponent right now. So don't do it for them.
And I think that's what is being debated here. I guess you got an Ultra Ball as well.
Yeah, there's a world where you get an additional Pokemon down, but I don't think we need to go for that. I think you say if your opponent is that lucky, gets all the right cards, then kudos to them. It is very possible, though. I mean, Arvin can help out a lot in those situations, find 4 Seal Stone, and get the ball rolling.
All right, Kevin having that tandem unit thanks to Miraidon EX. We'll find a couple Regieleki V. I think a Regieleki V was also drawn for the turn here, so no supporter just yet. Still is going to have to rely on fleet-footed to get something for this turn, the following turn, future turns.
Do you like using Electric Generator before fleet-footed so that you thin out the energies to help out the hand? Or do you want to take a card off the deck, hopefully it's not an energy, and then you have the energies to attack?
I think with the 3 energy in hand, and granted, he probably won't prize check it right now, but the 2 electric energy in the prize cards as well, I think you just got to do it.
We'll see what the decision is there, but certainly something to think about here, as the 1 card off fleet-footed could be very important as to how this opening turn goes.
Now, if it's something like Escape Rope Boss's Orders, hit a couple energy, and you're off to the races.
The floodgates could open, for sure.
Oh, it was... I think it was a researcher or a judge. Wow, okay.
Matthew picks up his hand so quick. Says, oh, no.
Oh, I got to play this game now.
Yep. Well, that is very, very good. We already know that the beach court is in hand. The energy is there as well. If fleet-footed finds the right card here, you could knock out the Arceus V instead of that Duraludon.
How about an energy?
That's not it.
All right, so you at least get to deal some damage, right? The Duraludon is 230, 220.
Don't make me check that. We're going to find out. Yeah, that's not the Duraludon I'm used to.
Yeah.
Looks like it is 220,
Okay.
so that lines up very well there. And
Photon
Matthew.
Blaster.
he gets to stick around. It's good. That's all I needed. Of course, you never want to lose 2 prize cards on turn 1, but getting to play the game is fun.
All right, now how many cards do you have access out of the 4-card combo of Arceus V-Star, Energy, Choice Belt, Hawlucha, and then a 5th card, Radiant Alakazam?
I'm sweating just thinking about it.
Well, there's the V-Star. That gets 2 of them.
7.
Yep. As far as supporter goes, doesn't look like that's going to be there. Starbirth likely going to be the next decision there.
Oh, no. Just
Quadruple turbo.
Arceus V-Star now doing 160 damage, thanks to those special energies attached to it. And Matthew still just needs a Pokemon to charge up as well.
Yep, very worried about what's going on in Kevin's hand, so he's considering potentially just grabbing that Judge there and thinking about the Nest Ball. If you're going to go for a Pokemon in this situation, a basic Pokemon to load up, you might as well grab the Nest Ball, thin that out of the deck, then get the Umbreon.
Can't get 3 cards.
He's
almost got the Nest Ball Umbreon, which was scary.
He's trying to skip the stage and not show the Nest Ball, but it doesn't matter because you're going to judge. He's thinking down the right path there. You don't want to like give away the information for free, but who cares?
It was almost very bad though.
Umbreon
Nest Ball.
Umbreon Nest Ball.
Pass.
Cry.
We do see the Judge though. Each player's going to shuffle their hand in and draw 4 cards. Matthew's just hoping to draw some supporters. Maybe another Pokemon to charge up. Meanwhile, Kevin is hoping for those Regieleki VMAX. You want to boost your damage as much as possible so you can take a knockout on that Arceus V-Star. And I guess, a way to reset Photon Blaster.
Yeah, you definitely want to find a way to switch that Pokemon around. And that is one problem that we run into with the Regieleki VMAX version that isn't playing that Radiant Greninja. You don't have access to just turning any energy into additional cards here. So when you are judged, you really hope to find a supporter.
Well, not yet, but there's a possibility. Draw for the turn, Ultra Ball number 2. It's not going to do it just yet.
So close, yeah. We see.
We got a fleet-footed.
Yeah, there's multiple Regieleki VMAX that can come down at this point. You can Ultra Ball for 1. You have 1 in hand.
All right, this is the scenario that we got to play out.
Into
Ultra
the
Ball
fleet-footed.
For the Regieleki VMAX.
Okay.
Evolve both. Retreat into Raikou V. Fleet-footed into Professor's Research. And then you get Switch Card or Escape Rope or whatever you want.
Feels good, man.
Feels good. I don't know if it's going to happen. But
there's a lot of cards off fleet-footed that could work in this situation here. So we'll see which card is found.
Yeah, you got all your supporters, essentially, except for Boss's Orders.
For Sealstone.
For Sealstone.
I'm going to retreat.
All right, here we go.
Love this.
Yep.
Doesn't want to give away the information of the second Regieleki VMAX. You don't need to play those down just yet. Just draw your card. Hopefully it's good.
It's a Boss's Orders. All right, that's not it. That's the one supporter that doesn't help.
Yep. We got to be more specific.
We do, yeah.
Well, this is dangerous. All your energies are in one place. Easily targeted here. Umbreon VMAX would get the job done there. Kevin's going to just read up on any potential threat at this point.
Make it so Raikou can't retreat. Energy on that active. And yeah, no real choice in playing down those Regieleki VMAX. And wow, all right. The hand's not very good for Matthew. It does have that Umbreon VMAX to bring up the Miraidon and take a knockout.
Seems like the right play here. You just need to remove the threats as they come and That is the biggest one for sure.
You also get 2 cards from the prizes. Maybe help out this hand a little bit.
We know one's a choice belt.
Card off the top. Oh, it was 1 card late. Professor's research.
It's always the case. And it hurts a little more when you look down at your board and see energy down on that Raikou. You'd love to have it on the Miraidon in this situation to potentially use that Pokemon to attack here. Looking for a little more help.
I think that's a Sky Seal Stone.
Oh, the wrong one. It is.
Yeah. No real way for Kevin to possibly get enough Pokemon in play to take the knockout, I believe, because you get 5, 6.
Yeah, 6, you get to
140.
140 plus 90 is 230. Yeah. You're nowhere close to taking that knockout.
I guess the one thing you have going for you is there's no real way for Matthew to take a 1-hit knockout on anything. So it's going to be a 2-hit after 2-hit. Do have a nest ball here. Go ahead and thin the deck out a little bit, thin the hand down a little bit.
Just going to keep looking at those Raikou V. It feels bad to just only have fleet-footed as the reliant way to look through the deck if you don't find the right cards from hand. Just 1 card at a time, slowly trying to get there. And Kevin just hasn't had the pieces in the middle of these games, even when we've got to the middle.
5 cards in hand for Kevin here. Has the energy, is just doing the math now. And, yeah, I believe it's 230, like you were saying. Still, gotta attack. Gotta do the damage.
I mean, in a world where you have escape rope or a way to attack into the Umbreon VMAX, you have potential to do cool things.
Oh, generator found off the fleet-footed.
Isn't that always how it goes? Well, can you find 2 here?
Just 1.
Now this is tough. You
could put it on the Raikou, kind of guarantee an attack next turn.
Right.
But now with this energy on the Miraidon, you have to hope that, this Raikou V in the active spot's going to stick around a little bit more. Now, 1 card I did see in Matthew's hand, which I got to check to make sure, that Karen's Conviction.
Yeah, it's a card that potentially comes into play to help out there, get the additional damage for each prize card that's been taken.
So with that Karen's Conviction, it means Umbreon does 200 damage.
We like that.
Do you know who has 200 HP?
The active one. Nicely done. Yeah, that's a solid spot there. It's a supporter you don't see too often played, but it's found a home here as a pretty solid one of. Matt immediately identifying that and says, yeah, prize cards would be pretty cool right here, especially when there's 3 energies on board and I can remove 2 of them.
I'm going to bring up this Umbreon, which is a single strike Pokemon. Then the Lost City to bump that beach court. Yeah, wow. Karen's Conviction.
Oh.
All right. Plus 40 damage.
Kevin's like, I haven't graded one of these in a minute.
There is the knockout. And I guess the one real benefit, too, of retreating the double turbo energy, it gets rid of that reduced damage for the Arceus later.
Yeah, no, that's a solid point, too, as we could certainly see Arceus V-Star in combination with the Choice Belt finding the last 2 prize cards. If something were to happen to this Umbreon, but 310 hit points is a lot, and we're not seeing the energies just yet to get the job done here.
So there was an avenue where if Kevin did have a way to get another generator, could actually take the knockout and the win. Or no, never mind. I'm thinking Sky Seal Stone, but that's only V's.
Yeah, I'm looking for it too, and it's just doesn't exactly line up. We're gonna see the retreat here. Extra card from the fleet-footed. There's an escape rope in hand.
Another energy. That's not what you want to see.
No relevant attack. No attack at all this turn. Just hide behind a Klefki. Say, I hope you don't play good cards. Boss's orders would be devastating.
To be fair, the deck does cut down on Boss's orders because of this Umbreon VMAX. Only plays 1 copy.
Maybe you could set up the checkmate for the following turn, use that nest ball, find the Umbreon, bench it, and then just wait a turn. Your opponent really hasn't shown that they've got the right cards to close out in a game here. This prize card doesn't help you at all.
Yeah, well, you say checkmate, but there's still not a knockout for Matthew on board. Needs a repeat Karen's Conviction.
I didn't know if he's still holding the belt that we found off the prize cards at some point, but I guess not. Must have been a couple hands ago.
I guess there's a Raihan, which you could possibly use.
Yep.
And Duraludon, you know, if it comes out.
So at this point, just go ahead and take that knockout. Even though the prize card's fairly irrelevant, you get to start to charge up this Pokemon. Maybe Duraludon VMAX could close out here.
Well, it's been a tale of no supporters for Kevin this entire game.
Yep, it's been a trend we've been running into here. 4 prize cards to go on the back of that Miraidon EX, it looks like.
Generator found for the turn.
No guaranteed knockout on board for Matthew.
We got close. This generator? Yeah.
Gonna have to hope off this 5 for Generator.
No.
Does not Hidden Energy. This is looking rough for Kevin here.
Yeah, really depends on what is in Matthew's hand at this point. On board, you still have the potential. So you have to play it out here. Treat, bring up that Miraidon EX. Take the knockout, Photon Blaster. We'll see if Matthew has the pieces to get it done. Looks like that promotion means Duraludon VMAX is going to be locking up day 2 for Little Dark Fury.
Looks like a chip